following show is a paid program.
Hey family, what's up? I am so glad you guys are here today. We have a great friend of mine, Attorney Willie Powells III. He is a great personal injury attorney. He has won so many cases, but I wanted you guys to meet him and hear his story. But hey buddy, how's it going?
It's going wonderful. So good to see you, sir.
Oh, every time I ask Attorney Powell to do anything, I need this, I need some help with this, what do you think? He is always there. That is my friend. Hey buddy, I wanted you to talk a little bit about how you started.
You know, I started humble beginnings right here in Houston, Texas. I was born in Houston. Big shout out to Park Plaza Hospital.
Shout out to
That's
him.
where it all began. With my mom and dad, of course, before that. But I'm a native Houstonian. I'm born and raised here. And, you know, the thing is, I was inspired at an early age to really be driven to want to do a lot of great things, help a lot of people. That's the true nature of my heart.
Yeah.
And eventually, as we'll probably discuss down the road, as you know, I became an attorney. And that's what I'm doing every day. I'm helping people in the law, you know, when they call upon us.
Okay, so let me tell you, he is the best. We're talking about a few things. I wanted to surprise him with some of the fashions that he has, and also that he is my friend. I'm telling you, I wanted to just throw those little surprises in. He didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's funny. You know, and you know, I've always, you know, I like to try to dress the part for myself and for the community, and make sure that we have fun while doing the same thing.
There we go.
It's always fun, you know. Like I was saying before, even though I'm an attorney today, you know, I've done sports.
Yes.
I've done some fashion. I'm a musician. I love to entertain, and a lot of times those other avenues come through, and what you see, and because it embodies who I actually am as a person. And so thanks for sharing those pictures. I've got
you didn't know I was going to post these, but I'm so proud of you. I just wanted you to know that. I also wanted people to see you are just not an attorney. You are a professional violinist also.
Yes. So basically what we have starting really when I was at Dotson Elementary Montessori School.
Yes.
I was about a third grade or so. That's when I introduced, I wanted to play the guitar, but at that time I was a little bit too small. Like small, okay?
Right.
So
right.
We're tiny, too small to play the guitar. So my mom kind of tricked me and she said, hey, why don't we start you on the violin and then we'll let you gradually get to the guitar. Well, I never gradually got back to the guitar. So I've stayed with the violin over the years. And so, you know, basically I competed. I played at church. I played at funerals. I played at weddings. And it became something that I truly love.
Yes.
When I started playing nationally, after that, you know, I started traveling with the Drexel University Gospel Choir and playing more on a professional scale, and but you know, playing with the Houston Youth Symphony Orchestra. And today we're still playing. We're still playing weddings. We're still playing special events, special occasions. You know, concert violin. And I know how to fiddle too. You know, being from Texas, they want to know, hey, can you play this? Can you play The Devil Went Down to Georgia? Can you play, you know, all the different, I've learned a lot of different jigs over the years as well. So, you know, we could provide music for all people, all genres, all sorts of whatever you're into. I like to do, as well as piano. So I do piano. I love music, and I love playing music. I love being around music. I love listening to music. And so these things kind of came naturally for me. I have a trained ear, and so like with the piano, I play by ear predominantly, but with violin, I read and as well as play by ear. And something that I truly love. It's something on the side. A lot of people don't realize that I'm that I do that, but I do in fact play violin, piano, and drums, and several other instruments as well.
I wanted people to know that. I wanted people to know really who Attorney Powells is and all of what embodies him. And you do a lot. But going back, we talked a little bit earlier about Booker T. Washington. That's where you went to school, in high school. And let's talk a little bit about that, and mainly to parents about what you went through and how successful you were.
Okay, right. So again, starting very early, it was drilled, hey, you've got to do well in school, stay out of trouble. Things that weren't always smooth. A lot of that development took place through elementary school, but that got me to Hamilton Middle School, the Vanguard program, where by that time I kind of had my helmet on straight, if you know what I mean. That's when I started playing football, some of the other sports, did really well. I had to apply. So I went to Booker T. Washington, the engineering program within Booker T. Washington, which that is one of the magnet school programs that the Houston Independent School District offers. And so you have to take a test. You have to qualify. They want to look to see what sort of grades did you get even at the middle school level. So it really started. We have to work back to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, getting on the honor roll and how important it is. And, that's why a lot of times when we try to get out in the community, I like to talk to the middle schoolers, because a lot of times at that point, they don't realize that it really starts there. A lot of times it really starts there. But from there, doing good grades, getting it, passing the test barely to get in at the engineering program, doing really well in the engineering program at Booker T. Washington. That's what gave me the scholarship to choose where I wanted to go to college. We had a lot of choices, a lot of great choices. Notre Dame, A&M, several schools in Texas, several schools around the country. And I chose to go to Drexel University, where then I studied chemical engineering as a major. But it started at Booker T, a wonderful school, played sports there, was involved with the Gents organization there, which I'm still a member of the Gents organization, where we're giving back as a graduate and helping those young men at the early age of between 9th and 12th grade, to help them. These things do you like doing? Trying to find a career, helping them, molding them, and hopefully showing the positive example of what things can happen if you make good grades. Stay out of trouble. Stay focused. There'll always be time. The party will always be there. I promise you that. But right now, to make sure that we get the grades right, your conduct is right, and you identify in 9th to 12th grade what sort of things that you like doing, that you can be passionate about. So that'll help you a major for college. So I can't speak highly enough about my experience at Booker T. Washington High School and what I learned. And like I said, even today, we are still giving back and helping young men make positive choices as a role model, so that, this cycle continues. Hopefully more people will follow in those same similar steps.
I love the way you talk about Booker T. Washington, because of the fact that what I loved about it was that you have the magnet part of it, but you also have the sports. Many times if you're going to magnet schools, or if you're going to other other schools, many times they don't have the sports aspect, and many children say, oh, well, I'll be losing that part,
Right. Yeah, no, and it was fun. I enjoyed playing sports all the way through school. Baseball, track, very good at track, and football is my passion. I love football. And so all of these things, it gives you a holistic environment
Right.
where you really develop and kind of find out what things you enjoy doing and really begin to excel. And it's really exciting. They just rebuilt that whole campus over there.
Yes.
And I went and I was amazed at what they've done with that school. And so I certainly hope that, and there's several other good schools, not just Booker T, but I'm glad to see that finally, they've really done some really nice things with the campus and what they're doing to help make that school shine, because it really is a very good school. You can get a very good education there. It certainly worked for me. And I'm very proud of the experience that I had while at Booker T.
I love that. And then after you went there, you went on to Drexler, and you talk about that in Philadelphia. What was that like, leaving Houston, traveling from here?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
I'm very excited. I was looking forward. I was one of those growing up where I wanted to leave kind of Texas, and that was my first time kind of leaving home. Houston is home.
Right.
And my sister gave a wonderful example for me to follow. She went to Dartmouth, Ivy League school.
Wow.
And, I'm talking about being focused. I didn't even know Dartmouth existed. So
Right.
She was she knew where she wanted to go, and she went to an Ivy League school from here. And so I got to see her. She was a few years ahead of me. And so she got to go away to school, and I wanted to do that as well.
Right.
So those scholarships that I received, which was a full scholarship, gave me options to travel and go to places outside of Houston, Texas. So you're right. I chose to go to Drexel University, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I didn't want to be in a small town. I mean, I love Houston. I love big city. I didn't want to go to a college that would put me somewhere on a farm. So I chose Philadelphia, the tri-state area where New York isn't that far away, New Jersey, Philadelphia. So Drexel is in the center of it all. Center of Philadelphia. And I love it. It's a fun campus. They're known for their engineering program, a very, very, very strong, solid engineering program. Mm-hmm. And they challenge you there. And so I went to Drexel University and studied chemical engineering. And from after studying chemical engineering, in addition to that, at that point, I hadn't decided totally if I was going to be an attorney yet.
Right.
Because, prior to that, my mom's a medical doctor. And so having grown up in the household and the community, I was always thinking I would probably go the medical route.
Right.
And so I can't just do chemical engineering. I have to also take some classes and study classes that would allow me to choose, to go to medical school if that's ultimately where I would be headed. So
right.
That's how I got that minor in biology. So in addition to chemical engineering, I did biology, and I had a concentration in biomaterials and tissue engineering. Mm-hmm. And so I was working really hard. And in addition to that, I was also literally working. So worked at Pico Energy. I got a chance and was awarded an opportunity to work at Air Products and Chemicals, which is a wonderful engineering engineering business. This was before law school.
Right.
Air Products and Chemicals, Pico Energy, and this is also where I met MD, PhD, double doctorate Cato T. Lorenzen.
Yes.
And I mean, you talk about a special individual. He was not only a chemical engineer and was teaching the entry-level chemical engineering courses, but at the same time that he was doing that, he was a medical doctor, an orthopedic surgeon, working with, athletes and prominent people in the Philadelphia area. And then at the same time, he was running his own laboratories, which I worked at the Advanced Center of Biomaterials and Tissue Engineering. And he was doing this all at the same time. To meet somebody of that caliber, individual went to Princeton, MIT, Harvard, all one guy.
One guy doing all of these things at once.
At once.
Wow.
And so that was a huge impact. That was a huge impact on me to see somebody like that. Usually you have to go to the movies when you see characters.
Right.
Princeton, MIT, Harvard, they're a medical doctor, they're an engineer.
Yes.
They've got their own class. I mean, the people that left his laboratory were getting $1 million offers to work in other laboratories. So, I mean, this guy is leading edge. And so this was the individual who pushed me more than I had ever been. He pushed me to a new level. And he would always say, Will, you need to go to the next level. Okay, so here's an individual that's a classically trained violinist, plays football, and, all A's, and got a full scholarship. He's like, you need to go to the next level. Right. He would push me every day. He pushed me every day. And, it was so, I'll never forget that one time we were working or whatnot, and the dean of the engineering school came into his office, and then there was some other people there, and they did the, pi is 3.14. Yes. They did the contest to see how many, this was all sporadic. The pi contest, how many decimals or numbers do you know behind the decimal? And it was like 3.14, and then whenever it goes on, they went on some 20 some odd numbers, and he went further than even the dean of the College of Chemical Engineering did. And I was like, this guy is special. Yes. Well, he said, go to the next level. This is not just, he was on, and I sometimes I would have to remind him, like how he would read a book over lunch. Like everybody, you have some skill sets that are higher than some of the rest of us understand. Yes. But still he was a great, what I'm getting at, he was a great role model for me. Yes. There was a reason the Lord wanted me to meet him and somebody like him to let me know that there's so much more. Yes. You can do more. You can go further. You can push yourself. And what is your dream? Yes. What do you find yourself? Where do you, it's real. It's not just, and so, I worked through the chemical engineering. I got that extra experience. And it was during this time when I was in college that I also determined medicine was not for me. But I learned that the law was. Yes. I found and we're kind of skipping forward to what I'm doing today, but with my presentation, interacting with people, I didn't see myself in a surgical room. I see myself more on the platform than I am here. But this is where I found that vision of where do I see myself. And then I started working towards, so we took the MCAT, I took the LSAT, I took the GMAT, I took all of those exams so that I had an opportunity, so I could decide, hey, which way we're going to go. Is it graduate school, like for a PhD, or is it going to be law school? Is it going to be medical school? I did all of this stuff happened while I was in college, right? Wow. So at the same time, I picked up, I think we talked about the piano as a minor, right? So I was already playing by ear, but I was never classically trained in the piano. So what I found is, there's a lot of, with all that studying and tests, there was a lot of pressure, right? And music was my release. So they had a beautiful grand, and I think it's still there, beautiful grand piano in the main hall at Drexel University. A lot of times people, and I did it in law school too. All my friends that went to law school with me, they remember me sitting in the lobby from time to time and just playing beautiful melodies. Yes. Because that's a release for me. And so, but I went on and I picked that up as a minor as well, because I wanted to be classically trained in the piano as I was in the violin. And so all of this stuff happened while I was in college at Drexel University.
That's why I tell people this Attorney Willie Powells is incredible. When we come back, we'll talk more to him.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection. Only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thank you all for coming back with me. Attorney Willie Powells III. Hey, my friend.
Hey, my friend, how you doing?
I am so excited that you're explaining everything. I've been knowing these things about you, but you are remarkable. Nobody thinks about taking them all at once.
Yeah,
taking all the tests. Let's see how I'm going to go. What am I going to do?
Exactly. Well, see, a lot of times, sometimes, people are blessed and they know exactly from like 5 years old what they're going to do. But a lot of times people are still trying to find that path, and I kind of fell in that category. I mean, I had an idea.
Right.
I knew either a doctor or lawyer or something, but still there were some questions, and I used that opportunity, that time while there, to really explore what things do I like to do, where do I see myself being, and that's the type of advice I try to give when I go back and help people, because you may not know, like some people know, but you may not know, and so these are the things you can do to help you narrow down and kind of figure out, hey, these are the things I like to do. These are the things I should focus on. And so that's why I took the GMAT, the LSAT, all the acts that they had.
I like that. That you did that. Yes. Now you're an attorney.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And you went to school. Let's talk about you going to school and why you chose the profession, and also why you chose the specialty that you do.
Okay, great. Okay, so we got through college, and then I knew, like at that point, I wanted to go to law school.
Right.
I also knew at that point that I wanted to come back home. Okay, so I wanted to come back to Houston, Texas, and I wanted to do law where I wanted to live, right? Because I could have stayed. I had some friends that stayed on the East Coast, and they went to great schools, predominant or very prestigious schools on the East Coast,
right?
In that area. But I chose to come back to Houston because I knew that this is where I wanted to live. This is where I wanted to start my family and all of this.
Right.
And I wanted to use that. So again, I applied after the LSAT. I took the Princeton Review law prep course to help me do well on the law school minutes exam. That's important. A lot of people don't know about that. They do have prep courses that will help you excel even better on when you're taking the exam. And so I took that.
A lot of people don't know that. They don't know that part, will it? that you could have those prep classes.
Well, see, the thing about it is it kind of puts you at a disadvantage if you don't, I feel, because you've got many people that do know about it, and they're getting all the tips and the tools to really knock that test out the water. Now, you know, they walk in and can just take it cold turkey, but I highly suggest at least reading a book or going to a class that will kind of help you tune your skills so that you're not at a disadvantage. And I think that played a big role into helping me get into South Texas College of Law. That was the law school I chose to go to. I was to several other law schools. I like that law school. It's, it's a private law school in Houston, Texas, located in downtown Houston, Texas. And I had a fabulous time while I was there. They used to teach me. Since it's a private school, they don't have a band, like they're not connected to a large university. But because me and some of my other colleagues played music, we created basically the law school band, if you will. So we got to perform at, big engagements or special occasions at the school. And, and so, we had several, in fact, I'm still in contact with them, and we still perform together today. So pianists, singers, violin, viola players, we're still all kind of together. But I started a group called The Firm, and we were still there, but we also
I remember the movie.
Yes, Dean Helen Jenkins was our sponsor. And so we had a student organization there. And, I didn't know originally, I was thinking that I was going to go into patents or intellectual property because that field of law couples very well with the scientific and engineering background. And it wasn't until later that I learned that I was more interested in litigation and then getting into cars and trucks, which I'll get to in a minute. But at that time, I was thinking I would probably go into patents and intellectual property. And so, I signed up for my classes. That first year is so tough. You hear what everybody says about law school. It's like they're trying to weed you out, all of these things. Again, we excelled. I did really well, came in with a positive attitude. I'll tell you one thing, you're not going to outwork me after a chemical engineering degree.
That's the truth. Now, that's the truth.
So I was ready to work. I knew it was going to be a challenge. I accepted that challenge and ended up doing pretty well that first year. And as a result of that, then I got the opportunity to work at Exxon Mobil. Okay.
Wow.
And I was accepted to JP Morgan Chase. They had a summer program, and you had to have really good grades. You had to do really well your first opportunity. And so I was while working at Exxon Mobil, that let me see a little bit more of, hey, how do I couple my engineering degree with the law degree? What sort of oil and gas? So that was a very, very, very instrumental. That was a key position for me. I was so happy to get a chance. Ray Echeverria was my sponsor / mentor there at Exxon Mobil, and I had several others. They welcomed me into the community. They worked very well with me, and I enjoyed being at that internship. And again, from there, after that, and I couldn't do both. The bank. I wanted to also try to work at JP Morgan, but they said they weren't going to let me do what I did in college and try to do more. I said I can multitask. I'm good.
Like Cato.
I've got a track record, but so I can only do one. So I chose Exxon. I'm so glad I chose Exxon, and I had a wonderful experience. And then from there, Cam, through my other experiences. So then I worked at other law firms while still in law school. That's how I started narrowing down what areas. Like I worked at the Bus Cop law firm. She does patents, patent intellectual property. So I got some. It's one thing to kind of think you know what you want to do. It's another thing to get hands on.
Yes.
Okay. Meet those lawyers. Meet that community. Be a part of what that whole environment is about, which I enjoyed immensely. But then there was something missing. I wanted more interaction with others.
Yeah.
See, what I found a lot with that was it was kind of like, hey, you kind of you create, or your scientist or your inventor will say, hey, this is what my next invention is. You go over all the paperwork, and you're kind of isolated away.
Right.
And I wanted more like in a courtroom or interacting with people and individuals more. And so I talked to Ms. Buskop about that, the attorney, and several other attorneys again while I was, going through these phases.
Right.
And why don't you consider litigation? Why don't you try it? Because she just did patent prosecution. She didn't actually do the litigation side of things. She would refer that out. So the next set of internships, I worked at large law firms where I could kind of see, hey, how does this litigation game go?
Right.
How does it work? And so that's what got me kind of seeing. I was working on very small projects.
Yeah.
Right. But just so kind of following you through.
That was good.
It was going through these different and various experiences, working with other attorneys and getting in the environment is kind of what got my feet wet. And again, I was at one of those large law firms, and my sister asked me a very basic question. It had something to do with a car accident or a family issue for a friend or something like that. It was funny because, I was successful again. I was at a big law firm, it was a very basic question I couldn't answer. And I said, look, am I a real lawyer?
Right.
Everyday needs, like real stuff, like family, like cars. Hey, Jimmy got in trouble with the law. What can we, like these everyday situations. And so it was funny. It occurred to me. I was like, hey, I don't know anything about that. I would have to refer out. I need to be, I want to know more. I want to be a part. If my sister, family, friends, or somebody were to call me about a real everyday type issue, I want to be able to help them and be a part of their life. And so it was funny because the last firm I was at, they were right around that same time they were downsized, worked out. The door was open for me to get a chance to hang out my own little shingle. And I said, I'm going, it was funny also. It's doubly funny because right around it, I bought my first beautiful car, my first beautiful black Corvette. And listen, I said, I'm not going to lose this car.
Okay, so let me tell people just a little bit about why you say that. When he says he's talking about the Corvette, he has cars. At this point. Attorney Powells has cars, and he loves cars.
I love cars a lot. But that was my first really nice car. And that's when we realized they're going to be downsized. And I said, wait a minute.
I can't lose this car.
Yeah. If I hang my shingle, we're going to make it work because I'm not losing my car.
Right.
And so I had real motivation, to get out there. And then I worked with some small boutique firms, boutique general litigation law firms. Doing work, doing criminal work, handling car accident cases and stuff like that. So I could get into the nitty gritty of how the industry works. What do you need to do? And, that's where I found my passion. That's where I said, this is where I can thrive. I'm motivated. This is what inspires me. It excites me. I enjoy going to court. I've always enjoyed meeting people, making friends. That's who I am.
Right.
And this gave me the platform to where I can be who I am. It gave me the platform. I was in a big room with a bunch of lawyers in front of a computer screen all day doing document review for a case. the lawyers go. I
Right.
was now that attorney going to the courthouse, representing the client, standing next to me.
Right.
And it was critically important that I do a good job for every single case. Every single case, every single client.
Yes.
Because I wanted to keep the lights on.
Yes.
I wanted to keep food on the table.
Yeah.
And what I found is by doing that, taking care and pouring myself into my clients,
Yes.
my clients earned that love over and over
Yes.
and over and over again. And they would tell their family and their
Yes.
friends about who I am and what I'm doing. And that's for many years how I survived, kept the car, and thrived even by taking very good care, pouring into my clients. Every single case matters, treating every single case as if I only had one,
Right.
even though there are hundreds.
Yes.
And loved it. They loved
Yes.
it. And I try to, even today, I try to keep that interaction with my clients. Like, they can text me, they can call me.
Yes.
We interact on Facebook. They're more than just a client to me.
Yes.
And I think that, and that's, so that's, how I kind of got into, what I'm doing. And I found my passion. I love what I do, as you can see. And, like I said, if I roll forward a little bit, because I know we only have so much time, what ended up happening, one of the members from my church at Fountain of Praise at the time, which I grew up going to Braeswood Assembly of God, and then as I got a little bit older and I went to college and came back, going to Fountain of Praise, and that's where I attend now. But one of the members at my church at Fountain of Praise got in a horrible accident, and she, I was there, I'm active, a part of the community, whatnot. She called me, her family reached out and said, "Hey, would you help me?" It was a commercial, like a truck case. And so which, by the way, that was my very first one. And they entrusted me with taking care of her. And I made sure that I did exactly that.
Yes.
And every day to day, all the needs, all the issues from A to Z, we made sure that everything, and double checked, that everything was done appropriately for her on her behalf. And the good thing is that we took very good care of her. She's very happy. And we got a recovery that was large enough to, not address the horrific accident that happened to her back, in that time, about a year and a half prior to us getting that case resolved. But it took care of her for the rest of the time that she was here on earth. And it also was a blessing for me and my practice. And it helped take me to like Dr. Lorenzen always told me, to the next level.
Yes. Yes.
And so looking back after that, I knew personal injury was what I'm all about. I just, every day I'm excited. I wake up, what cases am I working on today? I look forward to the phone of somebody saying, "Hey, I was involved in an accident. Please help me out." I'm like, "Hey, you got the right man."
Right.
I tell you what, like I said, nobody's going to outwork me. And then you add the fact that I love what I'm doing on top of that. I don't consider it work.
Absolutely.
God bless you on the other side of me, because it's coming for you, man. And I'm having a great time. I love what I do.
Well, if you guys have not seen the billboards around town, he has 4 of them. And we will come back and talk to Attorney Willie Powells in a few minutes.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Man, the time has flown. We ain't got through half of it.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection. Only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Thank you so much for coming back. Attorney Willie Powells III is with us. Hey, my friend.
Hey, I'm back.
You back? You got the shades on?
I got my glasses of love on, you know. Like, yeah, all my beautiful fans and clients and family that's watching all around.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you for all of them, yes, for their continued support.
Sounds good. I'm going to run through just a little bit about the types of practices and areas that you do, okay? Personal injury is what you love.
That's correct.
Commercial cases, you've done UPS, FedEx, taxi cabs, Uber, Lyft, 18-wheeler cases.
Woo, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Near and far.
Absolutely. Non-commercial. Yeah, it says non-commercial cases, everyday drivers with or without insurance, right?
That's correct. That's right. There's some loopholes that if someone hits you and they don't have insurance, there may still be some other ways that we can still recover for you. So we handle both of those. Whether the person that hit you had insurance or not, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
Sounds good. Drunk driving cases, motorcycle and ATV cases, other kinds of personal injury cases that you do is broken bone cases, plant explosions. Wow. Injured on the job where there's a third-party claim or no workman's comp. And the Jones Act cases where you're injured working at the ship channel or out on the Gulf of Mexico. Let's just do a little bit of those and talk a little bit about if a driver is uninsured. They
Sure.
hit you.
Okay. Yeah, right. So, unfortunately, they call it riding dirty, right?
Yes. They just hit you and they don't have insurance.
Exactly. So a lot of times people think, well, if somebody hit me and the person that hit me, if they didn't have insurance, there's nothing I can do.
Yes.
And they're just, and I would encourage those people to first give us a call because there are some loopholes where we might still be able to recover for you, even if the person that hit you did not have insurance. And I want to lay this caveat out there as well. Make sure that you have insurance, right? So, right. So
yes.
Listen to my voice. Make sure you have some sort of coverage. And I would say go a bit beyond that and make sure that you have full coverage, okay?
Yes.
And, you want PIP, you want med pay, personal injury protection, med pay, and you want a bodily injury where you are covered, underinsured and uninsured motorist coverages. By the way, this would only be, and I'm not running a commercial for insurance companies, but I'm saying this for the greater good, greater good of everybody. Every day we're all out there on that freeway. Yes. Nobody exempt. And so it's very important that you get this, and it's only a few dollars more to get the underinsured and underinsured coverages. And this is one of the tools that we can use. Else happens to not have coverage, or maybe there's a gap in coverage. They thought they had coverage, but it just expired.
Yes.
If you invest a few more dollars and get that underinsured, we can still take care of you. And that's what's important, because it's sad when they call me and I had to say, well, there's very, very little I can do to
Right.
help you, because my goal is to help people. I want to help you. And so sometimes it starts with us helping ourselves. And so if you get any other, make sure that you do keep insurance, and go ahead and ask for those premiums, because it's for your benefit.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people are thinking, hey, why do I want to pay that? And I can skip that. They didn't arrest me. I have insurance this month. But look, the minute somebody runs a red
minute
light,
you don't pay it,
all of that goes out the window, and now reality sets in.
Yes.
And I don't want anybody to be left in a situation where even if they call me, there's very little I can do. So these are some of the tools I would advise that people do, so that in the event they get hit by somebody else who does not have insurance, we still have a means to take care of them.
Absolutely. I love what you say about that. And also, you give back all the time. I've seen so many times when Attorney Powells is up there giving because somebody is in need at that time. Talk about the fact of philanthropy and why you give.
Oh, you know what? It's it's called the golden rule. I'm just going to take you all the way back to the beginning. I learned this long before.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Okay. And the thing is that giving is critical. People don't understand the greater impact.
Right.
If more people would give back to their community, help others, this world will be a better place.
Yes.
And I speak these things, I do these things. My friends, my family, my community, I live this life. Okay.
Yes.
This is me, and this is what I do. And I try to help people see the benefit in giving back.
Yes.
It's endless. It's endless, the blessings and the indirect blessings. That if more people gave, guess what? There would be less crime in this world.
Yes.
If more people cared about others, there'll be less fighting and hurt and harm.
Yes.
So we're talking about the greater good, the greater community. So yes, you're correct. Anytime, and I hope people know this, that anytime that you choose to go with our law firm, you are supporting a law firm that is pouring out back to the community, not only with time, but with money and resources. Because it's one thing to care and give your time, but it's another thing. Sometimes you need resources. And so we put money back into our community because we know that at the end of the day, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. And that's the way it works for everybody. So through the GENTS organization, you see me giving back time, money. Through other, we just were a sponsor on the Kane Film Fest, River Film Fest. That's what we get. It goes beyond Houston. We need to help around the world, not just, but help where you are, where you're at. It starts there, but in other ways as well. Anytime you're sponsoring our law firm, there are donations that are being made to the Houston Food Bank.
Yes.
So
all the time. You always give there.
Houston Food Bank is a big deal. That started even when I was at law school, raising money, collecting cans for the Houston Food Bank. So that goes all the way back to law school when I was the vice president of the Student Bar Association. So that has never stopped.
Right.
Others Against Drunk Driving. The list goes on and on and on. Giving back and helping those entities and communities and individuals in the time of need, large and small, and giving back, speaking to the community, because it's vital. It's vital to our existence. It's vital to our existence that more people give back and help show that road of success to the people behind you. That's what's going to lift our community up.
Yes.
That's what's going to make this world a better place. And by the way, you never know, somebody you may help may be there and will be first one in line to help you when you need help. You never know. I'm saying that's why if more people had the mindset, give and help others, if everybody is doing that, it's going to help make this world, this community a better place. So yeah, that is something that's very big, what we do. I pride myself in trying to live that life, not just saying that, but actually getting out and helping people in the community, friends, family, clients, all the whole thing of giving and setting a good example for others and helping along the way.
Absolutely. I wanted people to know that part about you. Many people don't. And if they didn't, I wanted people to know that, because you have given for years and years and years in this community, and all of Houston, not just where you live, but all of Houston, you have given back and given to people that maybe at that time in need and just needed that help. And I wanted people to know you don't just close your fist and say, I'm saving this and I'm saving this. You give and give and give, and that's why you get the referrals that you do.
Right. It's very critical. It's these are like world principles that
Yes.
If more people live, you would find that it's really better for everybody.
It is
long term, and that's what our focus should be. Our focus should be, looking out for your neighbor, taking care of your neighbor, and if everybody did that, then everybody's life would be just that much more better.
Especially during these times in COVID. We are having to, stay and protect each other, and with the mask and the gloves and things like that. But also people are in need because 40 million plus people are unemployed or filing for unemployment at this time.
Yes. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of harm.
Yes.
Right now, and it was so unexpected. Nobody really prepared for this. We're used to preparing for hurricane and our normal thing down through the South, but nobody was really looking out for COVID in that way. And you're right. And if more people were already helping one another more, but even if you're not, it's so important and critically important right now. And follow the advice, that's given to us, social distancing,
right.
Wearing a mask when out in public, and, just being extra careful, just taking those extra steps. Well, so hopefully, that's being a good neighbor. That's trying to help flatten this line a little bit so that it's a little bit safer, and hopefully we can finally get past COVID-19
right.
and get back to the way, they should be again, and even better than before.
Right.
So, you hit it on the head.
Absolutely. I wanted people to know about what cases you take on, because these things happen all the time, motorcycle cases, plant cases and things like that. And then in those cases, when they first get hit, what should they do?
Okay, so look, it's an excellent question. What do you do, right? When you get involved in an accident, a lot of times you're shaken up, and your whole world oftentimes is flipped upside down. And so it's kind of hard to maintain your wits enough to even think about what's step one, step two, step three. It was so funny, not really funny, but my sister got into a minor fender bender, and she hears me talk and do commercials and stuff all the time. And she was like, I didn't know what to do.
No.
Because every situation is different. Now, of course, she did the right thing. She figured it out. She gave me a call. And just call Willie Powells. Look at your phone. Google. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. But in that immediate time, you definitely want to go ahead and dial 911. Get the police involved. You want the police to come to the scene. You want them to conduct a police report and examination. It's very critical as we're working your case. We want to have an actual police report that we can refer back to, so that everything is documented. A lot of times people are like, "Hey, you don't need to call the police.
Right.
Uncle is a mechanic; he'll fix your car."
Right.
Those are that when they call me later, now my hands are tied.
Right.
Because you missed a big first step to what you really need to do. Call the police, get the police out there, make sure that everything is documented. If you're capable, or somebody's with you, or if there's a witness at the scene, you want to try to collect their telephone number and email address, because numbers change all the time. Emails are a little bit more steady than telephone numbers, but try to get their contact information. If they're able to take some photographs,
photographs.
Pictures can be.
That's what they were just asking. Do the photographs or filming?
Absolutely, because pictures worth 1,000 words. It could be worth thousands and thousands of dollars too, right?
Yes.
If I have a real picture of what happened at the time of the scene. You never know if we end up before a jury. We can show them, what happened. So if you're able to do a picture from your phone or somebody's with you or an eyewitness, you want to collect their information. You want to get pictures, photographs, and then you also want to try to get contact if you're able to, and it's not dangerous in the situation. Get information of the person who hit you. Okay, yes. A phone number, if they have insurance information, or somebody that's with you or an eyewitness. Because again, we're going to need that information so that we can do the absolute best job for you when you do call us. Call me, okay? And I said that as a joke, but really, call the law firm. I can give you a number, 281-881-2457. Put it in your phone, 281-881-2457. Because there's a lot going on in your mind at the time of the accident. You may not remember. Put me on speed dial like all of my other clients, okay? Something happens, let me talk you through what you may need to do if at the scene, and also help. We can assist with getting the resources you need there, make sure an ambulance comes if necessary, and guide you through this process.
If a person if a person does not give you their information, then what? When they refuse, they refuse.
Okay, so if a person refuses, we don't want any confrontations. There's some people who ride around with guns and stuff like that. They simply refuse. Go back to what I was saying before, take photographs and pictures. If we can get, at least they should have a license plate on their car. Right,
okay? Take a picture.
We have the best investigators and team that you can ever imagine in Houston, okay? If you can get me a picture of the license plate, take a picture of the car, if you can get their picture, we can use these things to still get back to the nitty gritty and figure out who it is. Sometimes they'll hit and run, okay, leave the scene. So, that's why, and before it was a lot harder, but now with our phones, it's really easy. You can go Facebook Live, you can take a picture or something that captures something about that incident so that I have something to work with to get to my investigator so that we can find out who did this thing to you. So
let's give the number again, Willie. Let's give our number.
It's going to be 281-881-2457. Again, that's 281-881-2457. And we're on standby 24. I promise you, we've got call centers. If you call, like they say, is he going to be awake at 3 o'clock to answer the call? He'll be there, okay? It doesn't matter what time it is. The phone will be answered, and you will be patched through to me. You'll get to talk to me directly if you've been in an accident. And a lot of clients, they'll do exactly that. They'll call me, and then they'll get patched through to me, and then I can kind of speak this calm to them so they're not like, what do I do next? They'll have me on the phone, and we can talk you through and every step you need to know. By the way, when you bring us on, we'll take care of all of the hard work. We'll do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is focus on getting better. You focus on, we'll take care of the damage to your car. We're going to take care of you, okay? Just like I did with all of my clients. We're going to take care of you. And know that you can trust that we're gonna handle, get all the T's crossed, all the I's dotted for you. You just call me, and we'll do the heavy lifting.
Give that number again, and we'll be out of here.
It's going to be 281-881-2457.
That's Attorney Willie Powells. Thank you, my friend. I thank you for everything. Man, I am telling you, on tomorrow, we will have Mo Jones, celebrity comedian. You've got to come back. See you. Bye.